Folks, and welcome back to TIMBERBORN and a new series. If you are enjoying the ongoing series, it's going to continue, but I want to have a play with Bobingabouts, LEAFCOATS faction, and actually I have had a play about with them last week when I was ill, but I thought I'd make some videos as well because they're really cool, so we're going to get stuck in. We're going to be using a map called Caldera 2, which was an honourable mention in the latest mapping contest. It's by Astral, and it's kind of cool. So we're going to go with that. And play on normal just because I want to kind of highlight the mod more than play with a difficult challenge, and the map's kind of interesting. So we'll play on normal for now. And let's load up. I have some mods installed, kind of the normal ones that I have installed. Not sure if all of them work with the LEAFCOATS, and I've not really gone super in-depth into the LEAFCOATS and like update notes and change logs and all that kind of stuff. Bobbing about, sorry, if you do watch this video, I've not studied this mod a lot. I've just played with it. And probably there's been a couple of updates since I've played with it, to be honest. So we'll have a little bit of a look on it. It's super cool. It's super cool. If you're a fan of like the Ewoks tree villages, you will love this. If you've seen JC stuff, you'll have a rough idea as well, I guess. So we're going to hit start and we will pause straight away. So the district center, and basically to give you a rough idea, most of these guys' structures are built into giant trees. And then you can join those trees together with bridges, which are a bit like the branches, and a bit like the ember pelts getting wet. They get a debuff if they cut down trees, because these guys can make trees by stripping barks and branches off of particular trees that are exclusive to the LEAFCOATS. There's a completely new food system. Yeah, we will work through all of it as we go. They have the zip lines like the beavers. Why have I forgotten names? It's been a week. They've got zip lines, and this is a very cool map. So we start off on an island, which is a extinct, in inverted commas, volcano in a lake, and obviously that kind of limits the amount of land we've got access to. But with this faction, that might not be so bad because you build vertically a lot. We've got a little bit of metal, we've got some trees, got some blueberries, which is good because we've got some food, and the lake kind of overhangs. The water comes in from around here, feeds in down here, feeds in, and I think up here and feeds in as well. We've got bad water sources, so we've got a bad water source here, we've got one here, and we are sat on a volcano. It says it's an extinct volcano, but there's some little hints down here that it might not be, and obviously you can roll down the terrain height and you'll see whether it is or not. And I think maybe we might need to be careful with removing some blockages and things. But that's the map. Obviously, with this big volume of water, a bit like the base game map, which has the big lakes, big pits on it. God, names are not good tonight. A bad tide is going to pollute all of this and make things more difficult. So a goal is going to be to try and make this entire lake bad waterproof and then full of pure water. We have a slight problem there that the LEAFCOATS don't have a bad water pump, so any bad water that comes in, we're going to have to remove with mechanical pumps. Future project though. So food wise, their food is very different. There is no farm. Everything is planted by the forester and comes under the forester in terms of planting. So we've got blueberries. Dandelions can be used as food. They can be fermented into food. We have grapes as well as a food. We have apples, which you might remember from the ember pelts. And we have chestnuts as well. So folktales, that's the word I was trying to remember. So yeah. You can see there as well the little veins of bad water contamination coming up through the ground. So things we will have to bear in mind. So yeah, I guess we'll have a quick run through. So we've got different types of path. We've got a path with railings. We've got just the railings. Path with hedge. Just the hedge. We've got some decorative floor. We've got wooden stairs, which are locked, which are the ones unlocked. We've got a ladder because there's a lot of vertical building in this, which is cool. Got the standard bridges. We've got the ladder. I'm not sure if that comes because I've got the ladders mod installed. Platforms, overhangs as standard. Tree parts because we're building trees. And branch bridges so that we can join together our trees with branches. Zip lines, and there is a zip line station that goes in the tree as well. And zip lines with this mod have zip line stations have 3 connections, which is really cool. In terms of landscaping, we've got the flat top floodgate from the ember pelts. The big change is that we don't have explosives. We put down a tool factory. We can then either loosen the terrain, which creates something akin to a blockage, but when you remove the blockage, you get dirt. Or you can remove terrain. That requires extract, which requires this guy, which has to go over a bad water source. And it just produces extract. There's no bad water pumping or usage in this faction. We've then got tunnels. I've got the extra tunnels mod installed. We do still have the dirt excavator, but again, it's a tree base. But that then digs out dirt as normal. Storages. All of the storages are part of a tree. So as we go up in size, you see they change shape and the level that the entrance on changes for some of the different storages. So that's kind of fun. You don't have to put them in a tree, and we might be doing that as we go through. The hauling post is, again, part of a tree, as is the builder's hut, and that's a bit of a weird shape. These are standard, I believe, and that's a mod. I think housing, again, part of a tree. As we go up in size, they change shape and get bigger, and you'll notice that most of the buildings have this core in the middle so the beavers can go up through. Water, we have the water pump, equivalent to the folk tales, can go to 4 deep. We have a large water pump, which is a tree. These are really good actually, so we'll be trying to get to that. We have fluid dump, we have the deep mechanical pump. We have the bad water dome. This just closes. At least the time that I used it, it just closes them or opens them. When it was open, it didn't force flow. Not sure if that was intended or not. Under food, so we've got a gatherer flag to gather our blueberries and dandelions, grapes and apples. We've got a food processor. This is for producing combined foods basically, so we'll get to that when we get to it. We've got the beehive and we've got the fermenter, so we can ferment dandelions early on. We will be getting that. We will get some dandelions growing fairly quickly. Under industry, so we've got the lumberjack flag, the pruning flag, which is for some of the trees that we'll be planting shortly. We've got a lumber mill, which can go on the side of a tree, or if you were feeling adventurous, you could hang it off the side of something as well, or you can just place it there. The lumber press, so because the leaf coats don't like cutting down trees, we can take bark and branches and pine resin. Pine resin is very important in this faction, and make artificial logs or planks. The forester is unlocked to standard, which is cool. We've got a gear workshop. Again, this can go in a tree. The idea is that you do, you build vertically. Tapper shack, very important because of the need for pine resin. We do have some pine trees here, which is good. We're going to need those to spread. The wood workshop, again, that's another building that goes in a tree. The grinder, so that's the equivalent of the smelter, again, can go in a tree. And then the mine is a tree, and obviously goes on a mine. And that needs extract to work optimally. So power-wise, we have a water wheel. We have a powered dam. This guy is really cool. Obviously, it needs flow. We have a little power treadmill, kind of cool. Power levy, so we can transfer power from our dams. And it also gives us the levy unlocked straight away. And then windmills are the main power that these guys use. So we've got normal-ish windmill, medium windmill, which is a tree trunk, and then large windmill, which is a tree top. And then we've got gravity batteries, so the standard gravity battery, and then two that form part of the tree. I'm going quite quickly because we'll get to this as we get to it. Science-wise, got the observatory for endgame science, which is the top of a tree. Bots-wise, we've got refinery, which makes lubricant. I didn't use that when I did my bots. And then we've got the bot part factory, which is part of a tree. The bot assembler, which from my experience seems to need to go on top of a bot part factory. And then charging stations, so normal charging station and charging station that could be part of a tree. And then the control tower goes on a branch. Well-being, lots of folk tales type stuff, bit of a mixture. Got a contemplation spot that hangs on a tree. The observation terrace, this hangs off of a branch, as the contemplation spot does. Yeah, and monuments, standard folk tales monuments at the moment, no end game. Let's get started. So we initially need to cut down trees, so we just have to accept that we get the penalty for unhappy beavers and cutting down trees. Honestly, it's not that bad. That covers quite a lot of that, but not everything. So let's throw in a few lumberjacks. About there. Yeah, that'll do. So, I'm just thinking. With droughts, let's worry about that in the future. Droughts will be relatively short, so. Gather a flag. Can we get a gather a flag that can do. Yep, you can do all of those. We. So pumping, I guess. Kind of makes sense to put it there, and ultimately it would make sense to put it out there, but we can't do that at the moment, so. Put one there. We put in Forester. Do I put you? Maximize the usefulness. Yes, there. Because this is kind of the equivalent of a farm as well as for trees. So let's put in patch of dandelions there. We'll put in grapes there. Maybe there. Maybe not right up to that. And the grapes do have a chance of spreading, so I'm just going to protect that bit of the path. So that's going to give us food. Tree-wise, I wonder if mangroves would grow on that, where it's contaminated. I'm a little bit nervous about removing some of these blockages like I normally would. Maybe we could put mangroves around. It's all going to get contaminated, isn't it, when we get a bad tide? But trees. So we want to be planting some eucalyptus trees. So these give us bark. Some of those in. Let's leave a gap for a path. We want to put in some willow trees. So willows can grow in the water as well. But currently, I guess we don't really have a great option for that. And this might offend some folks, but I found that early on, wood became an issue. And so I was happy to take the hit of the cutting problem. So what we're going to do is high prioritize that, and then that you're going to prioritize dandelions first. Bosh. Ooh, we've got one with a VU. We've got one of the special weavers. I think we've got the naming. Well, we've got the script pack which has the naming in, I think. So, right, we need to set some cut areas, don't we? So let's do that. That would be a good idea. One of the things I really liked about playing with this mod was that once you got established, you ended up with very green map with a lot of foliage on it. It was really quite cool. We might as well throw a gatherer flag over here as well. So once this one's full, we can pause it. Yeah, so we've got, see this guy has got a -2 debuff for plant murderer, because he's cutting down trees. But he's going to have to deal with it. On there. Want to be able to have a path through there in case we need it. Storage. Although I said they can be part of a tree, they don't have to be, so we're going to put in 3 storages for water next to the water pump. That guy was, I've still got enough pictures actually. So yeah, the plan is that I'm going to try and alternate these, just because I really want to show this mod off. It's so cool. It's so cool, folks. Do we? I only have 2 lumberjacks at the moment, don't I? No, okay, cool. So we've got water pumping going on, so we need to. Let's pause you. You need to be a priority. drop that down because we're going to need a beaver to go in there very shortly. Yeah, so this is a cool map. This is a cool map. I thought this would be a fun one to play. So getting to a significant amount of metal is going to be a challenge, but you know, we will have a crack at it. I think we probably want a second water pump. And that'll do for now. Maybe not ideal, but let's not let okay be the enemy of good enough. I think we probably want to... Can we get around the back of that? Up there. How's he getting up? Oh, because they can come out of there, can't they? Yeah. So what we can do, I think, is come around here. Across here. Make sure yeah, the dead tree, they'll cut the dead trees first. Put a cheeky ladder there. What's there? Put in a cheeky ladder there. And then I think put in a dam there. Now I'm not sure actually. I think dams might be too high. Trying to look at which direction the water's flowing. It's going that way, so we could probably put a dam that end. The other thing we need to get going is science. Also, initially, put in a few more oak trees. So dandelions are growing, grapes going in. This guy is just harvesting away. It's okay. Science is happening. That says it's too far from a district. Can they not get over? No, I guess they can't get over that, can they? So what we can... I think what we can do... Yeah. That'll let us build it. And we might have to use a floodgate, which is not great. There is pause, unpause, pause, 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 pause. So I don't have the employment mod active this time as I normally would because of all the issues we've had with it. So we're gonna have to do a bit of micromanaging. That's okay. Yeah, so kind of the way that I started previously was I did smaller batches of these just to get myself going. So that's in. I think what we'll do is that's on the second floor, isn't it? So if we put it there, go a bit slower. It's 20 logs, power 15 logs. Let's plan to put one of those in when the drought comes. We get that mostly built. One more log brought over. And we need to hit pause. Yeah. I'm going to set the build priority to that to maximum. So that means we can protect the water in here at least. Which will hopefully keep our food alive. The dandelions are 3 days, no, a day and a half away. So let's have a look at getting the fermenter built. This needs power. Over here. Over here. Yeah, so it's not hydrated. So we're going to use the treadmill for now to power that, which is not ideal, but we don't really have access to flowing water at the moment, so that's kind of a thing. Keeping up with food, not quite with water, so let's get that pumping again. Also on easy mode, or normal mode, sorry, things will be easier. Could grab the logs back from that. To have the recipe set to fermented dandelions. And probably be paused for now. Let's set up a couple of storages. So there we go, and let's pause you until we actually get some. And then I think we're going to start building housing, because I kind of like to do that fairly early. So we'll go housing unit there, and then we'll go warehouse. Warehouse. B for berries. I don't know if berries give us a... No, berries don't give us a food benefit. The fermented dandelions will. So maybe we make you dandelions. That's housing for 4 beavers. So we need at least 3 of those. Ideally 4, so we can increase things. So let's put a second storage there, and that one can be 4 berries. There we go. And each of these has a ladder built in, so that's fine. There's our dandelions, so hopefully we'll start picking those. We have. What I'm going to do is pause one of these. Take away 1 builder and get them working on that. dude. Do your thing. You need to stock up with dandelions first before you can ferment them. That's okay. It is what it is. And did we pick those logs up? We did. So we can probably take that out as well. Get rid of that bit of path. I'll leave that ladder there so we can get to some of those trees. Don't actually have enough dandelions harvested yet, so I think we pause you. And maybe pause you. Unpause you. Maybe do with another forester. And I'd kind of like to get a path through here, so just delete those. Come in here with forester. Actually, what we'll do is we'll delete all of those. We need 1 dandelions now, so we have got enough now to do some dandelion fermenting. Let's get that going. Grapes are a little way off yet. Still got some blueberries, and we've still got blueberries in range to pick. That's okay. Going to prioritize the deletion. Set up some more planting. Street. Trees that give branches. Yeah, we're going to need to plant willows in here still. Until we have a way of keeping the water clean, we're just going to need to deal with it. This patch of blueberry should be enough once we've got food more established. And probably the sooner we actually get the recyclable trees, it's kind of a weird word, going, maybe the better. I haven't done the maths to see what produces quicker, but kind of the intent of the mod, so we should go with it. We can free up one of you to be helping with building. Although we may have built everything that we had planned, so I think that case we'll throw in another inventor. Got some spare beds now, so we should start increasing our population ever so slightly. I would need planks if I wanted to do the medium tank. Really, I need bark and the planks to do that. Okay. The no flowing water is a bit of a pain in the butt for power, to be honest. We need planks to do that. You can connect power in through power shafts into the trees. I'm a little tempted to put in a temporary lumber mill somewhere. Even do it there. How much horsepower does a lumber mill need? 50, yeah. So we've fermented our dandelions. We could maybe do with a bigger patch of those, although they're close to reproducing. What I'm pondering is growing in, and this is not how it's intended at all. That I'm thinking of just doing that temporarily. I kind of like how they hang over the water anyway, especially if you water power them. I think they look really cool. But, yeah. Then once we've got some eucalyptus grown, you're going to prioritize eucalyptus. Maybe we put a patch of those. Don't know where. Maybe we just have to wait for these to grow in. I think what I'm tempted to do is rip out these guys. I think we do have enough blueberries planted. He says, not completely confidently. The grapes will be coming in soon and they can eat those directly, which is good. Starting to have beavers die, but we're also starting to have beavers produced, which is good. We got our housing done early enough. Put in a few more eucalyptus trees there. I've also put in a little batch of them up here. So dandelions are coming back in, so once they get sorted, that'll be good. It might be worth, to be honest, just spamming some more of those in there. And seeing how we get on. Super low priority jobs. And I guess I'm kind of put off planting more trees because of these, but we probably need to be thinking about some apple trees, and that's not many. It's not going to give us many apples, but food diversity is a good thing. So we need to unmark a lot of this area for cutting. And so kind of unlike a normal save where you just leave it because it doesn't matter for performance. But this we want to because we don't want them cutting down things like willow trees or apple trees or stuff like that. So yeah, it's a little different. Drought approaching. So we can now hopefully make some planks. It would be sensible to put in a little storage for said planks. And then once we've got some bark, I don't think they can plant those. No. Let's unmark them, and we might as well unmark those. Marks to be cut, which is good. That means is generally they seem to spread better. Set to be cut to get you cleared out of the way. Let's temporarily pause that and reopen our dandelion fermenting. Probably we could pause one of these for now. Keep some science rolling in. There's something that we will get to really making use of once we're doing things properly in the trees is if you have, let's say for example, we had a medium pile here. And then we had, for example, a lumber mill, not a lumber mill, a gear workshop here. The game checks every so many ticks, I think it's every 4 ticks, something like that. And if there are planks in the warehouse, it will move them automatically to the gear workshop without you needing to use haulers. Stuff that's within the tree will be moved automatically, which is really cool and really clever. Are we surprised? No, because it's bobbing about, but it's really cool and really clever. And really good. I don't mean that in a way of diminishing what he's done by saying, are we surprised? No. I'm just not surprised that he's done really clever stuff with his mod. Because he does really clever stuff. So our first willow trees are popping up. These are the ones that give us branches. We want barks. Our first eucalyptus trees are also cropping up, so that's good. We are going to need storage for both. I think, therefore I am. The slight problem we have, I'm just going to pause the game, is we need to make sure that we can keep ladders progressing. So we need to be able to build a ladder on this middle level. So we need something like this, which lets us place a ladder. So it going yellow means that the entrance is blocked. Green is good. So that works there. We can then put another small storage there. And then that means we can put another small pile there, and we'll be able to put a ladder there. Because what I want to do is put in piles. Oh no, it's not piles, is it? Storage. It's warehouses. But that's okay because it's the same shape piece. One for logs. One for bark. We'll get them to build that. I think it might. So we might as well throw in a ladder there and we can get to those dead trees. And we can clear those out. And maybe we put a campfire up there to speed up the beavers growing up. I need to remember to finish building this right at the end, right before the drought kicks in. Pause that. Don't quite yet need to build the pruning flag, so it's a different job to prune off branches and bark than it is to cut down trees. So you need to be set to agua. You will be set to be logs. It's good. Up here. Don't know actually if some of our lumberjacks can get up and clear some of those trees at least. We could really do with the kits starting to level up. So if he just happens to clear the right dead trees, that'll be perfect for putting in a fireplace. Campfire. It's not actually a campfire, it's a garden. Right, pause. And pause even. Got 0.7 of a day left, so... Now there's your problem. We're going to have to delete that to get to that. Boom. So we're then going to pause both of those. Makes the drought a little bit longer, but, you know, I think we should be okay. We could move our water pumping. Might not be a terrible idea. At least maybe putting one there so that we can continue to pump water. And then we will rebuild the treadmill so that we can repower the lumber mill. Water. 6 well-being. Get us. Right. Well-being. Garden. Look at this. This is quite good actually. It's quite cool. So that will help the young beavers grow up. We don't have a huge amount of water in there, but we'll at least keep some back. Don't know how much is going to flow out, to be honest. As things dry up. And therefore how much is going to die back. I guess we'll see. And we'll see with what kind of urgency we need to be trying to block stuff. I mean, in theory, we are at the point where we could unlock a floodgate and we could block these off if we could get to them. So in theory, we could protect the lake from some or all of the bad water and some or all of this water rushing out. Has dried up somewhat. Now, thankfully, it's only a 3-day drought. So it's not going to cause us too many problems. $78. We've got our first grapes. Awesome. Beavers have got a bit more food to eat. Got dandelions to process, but we are not really flush with beavers. But it's definitely worth putting that in, because otherwise we might have had a bit more of a problem. I don't know. But yeah, I think we want to aim to start to protect ourselves from bad tide and from emptying of the... and most of it seems to be rushing out of here. Now, if we look at this, this is a bit deeper. So we might want to hold out for the double floodgate. Get that bad boy in there. So maybe... well, one, we want to get rid of that, because that's going to block our ability to get off the island. What we want to be thinking about doing. There isn't really a quickest way to get across there, to be honest. It's all pretty horrendous. But I think this might be our first priority. If I do that, then I can go across there and then I can go that way. And go there, there, there. Actually, we want to go in there. That's a blockage. Okay, we're not going to open that just in case we open up opening Pandora's box. I know I could look underneath. I'm trying to add a bit of tension, folks. Bear with me. But yeah, I think we aim to get that done. You might as well be paused because there's no water there for you to pump. That's dried out. We've got a day left. Everything is going to survive at least. But that is a problem. But if we can make this deeper, then it'll be less of a problem. Because water really is ripping out of that. Yeah, we can keep some depth in there. I think that will help. do that. Let's get this guy going again. Get this guy going. That 43 water, 0.7 of a day left. That's okay. Given where the water is now, we might as well delete that. And they're working on that. Pause you. Let's put a lumberjack flag there to cut down all of the dead trees. Actually, we could have you working on that as well. Got our maximum amount of builders. We need to put in a pruning flag, which is 30 science. Okay, so let's put you there. Around there. We're going to put a ladder there so we can reblock that. All going to be a priority, please. Actually, if we go into odds, improve UI. That, did I need to do a save on the settings there? Oh. Just showing, no, because we're not showing 0 on the fermented. Confused. Never hide unlocked counters. Tick. Let's get rid of that. Drought ended. Awesome. Pause you. 2 water pumpers will be enough. Couldn't be paused. One of you. And we'll pause you. How are we looking? We are getting there. Don't have science turning though. Taking a little while for the water to come back. That is something to be aware of. I guess all of this system's got to refill. Hopefully this is not going to be a thing that this doesn't fill back up. We need to move our production system down. Got 3 kits, so if the kits grow up, we'll be okay. We've only got 15 water at the moment. Has me a little worried. I think we're going to do a cheeky one of them as a high priority build. Because that's got to go up a fair way before we can actually make use of it. Then we're going to come over here. just got this funny feeling that things aren't going to recover. So we're then going to do that. I've not played on this map before, so and with that we're going to pause those. We're going to unpause you and you because we need wood. Build all of that. That should be picked up. This is not good. A lot of grapes are dying as well. You might as well both be paused. This was not the expectation. This is on easy mode. This is an interesting map. It stopped flowing out yet. It was at least going up, I guess is the question. These are going to die, aren't they? Yeah. You can be paused. It's frustrating. How far did they get? They got a lot of the way. Another 30 science before we can get the dams to get this height back up. It's falling in here. It's not hard mode. Interesting map. Interesting. Should be stopping soon, but you know. Suddenly the challenge has got me intrigued. Managed to grab a few grapes from somewhere. Got all the pumps set up and pumping so we can refill our water. A lot of logs to build 2 of those, aren't we? 30 logs, we've got 20, so we're not far off actually. Pause one of you so we can get the science going. Let's pour that one. Glad I didn't put this on hard mode. We'd have been screwed. You could be paused. Got the science, so you can be unpaused to start making the logs. Yeah. Almost in. So guess we maybe set it to about 1.5. Not the idea having to go out so far to build, but you know, needs must. Maybe some of this stuff won't die. Those will. Maybe the trees won't. No? We could have maybe used dams or something to do this quicker, but this is a better solution, so. They're there. So. And we just need them to build them all, which is so much stuff. If we had haulers, I'd say we could set up storage, but we don't have haulers yet, so there's probably not a lot of point. We're going to do a little bit of... wow, finally. Saved all the dandelions and some of the grapes. We got no, it's just taken 6 days to get the water back in. There is a small chance. There is a small chance. Right, we've got 23 planks. How many have we put in? 10. So we've got enough planks. So let's pause that. Put the extra builder in. We have no food, so actually we need to do that and not have the extra builder. And we need the gatherer flag to be active. Those need to be paused and those can be unpaused. That's crazy that it's taken 7 days to refill that. I guess we can now work out how deep we want this. Yeah, that's probably not... We've got one built, yes. It's probably not a million miles off actually about where we want it, so... Right, they can go. But that's helping a lot because it's obviously slowing down the exit. That's why it's gone up, isn't it? Yeah. Grapes have survived. Wow. That was a little bit too close for comfort, folks. That was too close for comfort. We have no food. Get the other gatherer flag. Do have plenty of water, so... We don't need to be working in there. Maybe you could be doing that. I don't know what trees you've got available to cut. And we can plant some more trees of a non-cuttable variety. Oh, we've got dandelions again. Awesome. Do we have... Almost. So that should help a heck of a lot. provided we've not got it too high. And I think that's going to be it, folks. I think next time we need to sort some industry out, because we've got a whole load of bark now, so we can get, once we've got science, unlock the windmill, and we'll get rid of this and start putting some proper industry in. But really, I want to be looking to protect the lake from bad tide. So we need to get this sorted. That's another problem to deal with. There are water sources under there. I think there might be. Oh, that's water going out. Okay. It's going to be a fun challenge. I don't think we're going to completely seal it quickly, but we'll try and do our best. Anyway, that's it, folks, for today. Hope you have enjoyed it. As I said, the other series will be back as well. I will see you next time.